Today, I want to try to build a mansion in The Sims on the smallest lot in the game. Lots in The Sims 4 come in all different sizes, the biggest being 64 by 64 and the smallest being 20 by 15. So I thought it might be fun today to build a mansion or a mansion-esque house on the teeniest, tiniest 20 by 15 lot. I have brought us to this 20 by 15 lot in Brightchester because it's kind of in a residential area and seems like it might work for a mansion-esque home. So we're gonna see what we can do with this. And as a reminder, I am in the EA Creator Network and I do have a creator code Sarah, which you can input on the EA app or thesims.com. If you are making any purchases and would like to financially support me, I will make a small commission, and I have been gifted a couple packs in the past. Let's get to the video. So another reason that I chose this lot is that it's kind of like a 20 by 15 instead of a 15 by 20, if that makes any sense. The longer part of the lot is front facing. And so I was thinking that might help us a little bit to get that mansion feel. It'll make it look a lot bigger from the front. I think we have to do 3 stories, and there are a couple things I want to make sure that we have in this challenge. So to me, a mansion has to have at least 5 bedrooms. We have to have a pool. I would love some type of like sitting garden area. I also think we should get like at least 2 bonus rooms, whether that's an office or a skill building area or a home theater. I want to make sure we utilize every single tile on this lot the best that we can. So I actually kind of hesitate to put a fence here. You can't put fences on the lot line. They have to be at least 1 tile in. So we do kind of lose a 1 tile border here if we do that, but it is a pretty nice fancy fence from Get Famous. I also really want some type of dormer. I think that makes the house look a lot more grand. Ooh, I'm going around with some columns, and as you can see, this one like placed on the inside corner. If this ever happens to you, all you have to do is rotate it and it'll plop back out to the outside corner. But these columns are clipping through the top of the roof. I want to prioritize the roof more than the columns, so let's find different columns. The plain get-together ones don't look that bad. And if this is your first video of mine, welcome. We are always trying to think of storylines for the builds and why they exist in the way that they do. I'm wondering if maybe this is a sim that like came into a lot of money, but also like inherited the family plot in Brightchester. So instead of just moving somewhere completely new, they just like tore down what was there and are starting to build up their own thing. Something like that could make sense, but we'll see how the rest of the build goes. I'm messing around with some windows right now. I like these Get Famous ones, but they don't have short wall height versions. I think Strangerville windows could be really good here because I know that we'll have something at least similar to match up top on the shorter wall height. We can do this big window right in the middle. And then for the front door, this one from University, this one is just like so regal and classic. So now that I have the windows in the front, I want to think a little bit about the floor plan. I decided back here is going to be kind of like a sitting area, a parlor, and I went with these big windows around it. And what I really would love to do is some type of double staircase. And if you didn't know, you can use these angles to kind of twist your staircases all around and adjust the different heights. So what if we kind of did a big grand staircase entry right here? This can be a bedroom with an ensuite bathroom. This can be a bedroom, bedroom, bedroom. That's 4 bedrooms, and then a hall bathroom right here. I know that's my normal 3x2, but we are on a 20 by 15. I am realizing the upper floor has no ability for windows unless I bring it out like this. If this were real life, obviously these little dormers would be windows letting light in. But since this is The Sims, maybe I should just do something like this. But it looks so weird with the roofing. The new plan that we could do is use some of these island living glass roof pieces to let in a bit of light from above. For the first floor, this actually might be a little complicated. I'm thinking this could be the main living area, and this could be the kitchen. This will be a half bath, and this will be the office. And could I make that just a little bigger? It feels really weird having that small of an office. So we definitely have 5 bedrooms. I'm a little really worried about how we're getting a pool and like a nice garden area back here, but I have a couple ideas that we can test out once we get here. And now I'm going to get windows everywhere that we don't have windows. I don't know if we style this as a chimney. Usually I don't care about putting windows in what is supposed to be the chimney if it's The Sims, but we have to have class here. But this is a mansion. I think just making this a little bump out instead actually makes way more sense. Moving on, we now actually have to think about what the exterior is going to look like. And I am kind of thinking like very regal, like maybe some nice stone, white stone, or maybe this was the house of John Brightchester and that's why there's not a lot of land around it. Maybe it's just there and they've since built up the whole area to support the university. Nothing to change. Okay, I understand that. Nothing to change. Okay, you've made your point, chat. Why is this happening? Oh, I'm having some severe UI issues, it seems. Okay, I went to Managed Worlds to try to fix that, and can I just say, it looks kind of good from the Managed Worlds view. I do actually think there is a founder of Brightchester, like the university, and his name is not John Brightchester. Oh, the famous Felix Sided, who was known for his enthusiasm for learning and humorously large books. I don't know about you all, but I just got a decor idea. And he's the ghost that comes with the university world. So feel excited. Feel excited. He was a goofball, cheerful, and outgoing, and honestly, that doesn't really help us with the decor here. I kind of don't want white flooring. I think I'd like something maybe like this cats and dogs brown. Ooh, or maybe the antique wood. That actually might make some more sense. I really want a grand entryway, and ideally we'd have another floor from which to drop down a chandelier. But if I'm sticking to my rule of 5 bedrooms, we do need this space for a bedroom. We could still do something like this vintage glamour one. When I think mansion, I do think like pristine and clean and not a lot of clutter, or maybe more like intentional clutter. Maybe we'll do a little bench right here and we'll slide in the fish tank by the stairs. I really like that. And then over here, we can very intentionally have a coat rack, umbrella, and shoe rack. Ooh, I also need to think about railings for these stairs. I like this one, but with any railing, we're gonna get this one in the middle, so I might have to redo the stairs. I'm going to draw a platform and raise it up a bit so that I can get 2 smaller staircases like that. And then we take 1 staircase and draw it across. The only thing with this is you lose the walls under the steps, so you have to go like that. And I'm like, is it even worth it at that point? I do want the walls under the steps there. So maybe we just deal with the 2 railings. If there's another way around that, please let me know, but I don't think that there is. You have to do the platform thing. Could any kind of mirror fit right here? That one kind of looks nice. Kind of looks nice with the wall. I do think I am going to think about the outside and like the front porch, the teeny tiny front porch area last. So now I want to move into, this is going to be the more like casual living area. I am going to put a TV in this one. Of course, my brain is just telling me to go with the get famous stuff. If only we had good swatches. Maybe this life and death couch that I almost completely forgot about. And I want to incorporate this dark green since that's the school colors of Brightchester. But I also want to do a fireplace because look how built into the wall that looks. But how do we not do TV on top of the fireplace? Even when it's one of these lower fireplaces, it still looks like it's too high. And I mean, did Felix live in a time where there were televisions? I don't know. And part of me is like, this is his house and they preserved it and now they do tours, or the students come and they study. But on the other hand, I'm like, no, it's just his descendants that live here now. I want a rug, but we have the fireplace. But if I make the rug smaller, it's not right. That's not right. Normally things that would matter in real life don't matter in The Sims, but this one does matter in The Sims. Okay, there. It's not right in front of the fireplace. I'm gonna size up these books because as we noted, he does enjoy humorously large books. And I mean, this item is called the mega couple of books, but they're not very mega unless you size them up. I kind of want to make a little hybrid book table here. So I'm taking the stack of books from Cats and Dogs and putting this wooden pedestal table on top of it. You just have to make sure you have the bb.move objects cheat on, and then it kind of looks like it's its own table thing. This is going to be our TV room, our family room, living area. Moving on into the dining room, I of course really want like a grand dining room, but I don't know if a big long table is really going to work with the space that we have. In an effort to keep this mansion-esque, what if we did like a big round table? Because that way we get the tablecloth, we get the like grandiosity of a round table, but it works a lot better for this space. What about some of these city living chairs? They're super ornate and go very nicely with this table. I can't say if I've ever used those chairs before. The chandelier from Businesses and Hobbies, that really looks nice. The expensive paintings are screaming to me in this room at least. Like the 7,500 simoleon, this one, the 8,000 simoleon, this one, beautiful. And I am carrying through these wall sconces through the rooms to keep some sense of cohesiveness. Should we make sure that like every major room has some comically large book in it, since that's kind of our only guidance here? The Green Lady's Lost Tome might look nice here. The last thing I want is a rug, and I would love if we had something that was a little green for our Brightchester representation. All right, well, this is going to be our dining area. And now to come into the kitchen, these large windows might complicate things for us. I personally don't love putting counters right up against the windows, but I might have to in this instance, especially because you can't really tell from the outside. These vintage counters are always my go-to when I have to do like a rich, fancy kitchen. Ooh, but Life and Death has the green swatch with the gold hardware, which is very Brightchester to me. Now, the windows still do provide a little bit of a dilemma with the cabinets. I guess maybe we could get a few like this. Do we do a little island moment here? Not like full-on island, but the little back-to-back counter vibe. Oh no, where does the trash can go? Why do I always forget to allot space for a bin? Maybe we get rid of that counter and put the fridge there, and then we can have the trash can right here. Maybe a little coffee bar area could work. We do the little mug rack and the teas. I feel like the rich people, you know, you're living in the mansion, you're always drinking tea. Also, isn't Brightchester based off like British university town? So like the tea would make sense. What about the sleek bathroom tiles? Or maybe these high school years tiles. I feel like those go up to a nice point, and I really like what's going on at the top here. And we need our comically large book. There we go, gourmet cooking. It just looks like it could be one of those like really big picture book focused kind of cookbooks. I also think like from the mansion standpoint, like the rich people portraying the idea that they cook in their own kitchen, but actually they have a private chef. I don't know. But anyway, that's gonna be our kitchen. Moving on to the butler's kitchen, or whatever I called this, the concept of a butler's kitchen or a second kitchen is so fascinating to me. Like, you have a second kitchen? Why? Don't get me wrong, if I lived in a house that had one, I'd probably be like, okay, let me make use of this. But what I like about them in The Sims is you can put your appliances there for like aesthetics and then lock the door so they never use them, because Sims hate microwave food. We could take advantage of this and like use it for more cabinet space. And I also think like in real life, maybe does this stem from the popularity of open concept and that you want a place to like hide away all the dirty dishes while you're out entertaining, when normally if your house wasn't open concept, it could just stay in the kitchen. I don't know, but it is a novel concept to me. I just threw in a little bit more clutter. It's really hard to get the camera in here, but this is, oh, just disappeared. Why would it be there? This is our butler's kitchen, our second kitchen. This half bath is gonna be super, super quick. We do not have room for really anything else but the basics. This is only 2 tiles, so we do kind of have to lock in. I love the tiny living toilet. It doesn't go super well with the aesthetics, but the sleek bathroom toilet is way more compact than any of the other ones. If you can kind of see where the sleek bathroom toilet ends versus where the other ones end. And how about just a nice picture on the wall? We could do the butterflies. Oh, I kind of like the butterflies. Let's do those. Oh, I literally forgot about the comically large book in both the second kitchen and in the bathroom. Maybe the bathroom is excluded from the comically large book because there is actually no place where we could put it and have it still be functional. We'll do the cooking book in there. And I guess we could put a regular sized book in the bathroom. I don't really want it to like forever sit by the toilet, but we could kind of, you know, put it on the floor there. If you want it, you can grab it. If you want it, take it. Okay, this brings us to the office area. I want to do kind of this cats and dogs, very traditional looking desk, the Executron desk chair. And did Felix live in a time of computers? I don't know, but he's getting a computer. And then I think like floor to ceiling bookshelves in here. We'll have some, you know, normal sized books, but let's also get some giant books as well. These plants look so good with the color scheme that we have going on right now. I would love something big on the wall behind him. I'm like half building this specifically for Felix and half just making this a general mansion. I do really like using Felix's inspiration, especially since of course I love something like a comically large book has to be in every room. Like I actually was kind of scared that I would get bored doing like a very serious type mansion. Now wait a minute, why would his office be red if that's the color of Foxbury, the rival institute? Ooh, it actually looks really nice nice with the light brown on the walls. I am not afraid to go and get the stack of books again, and we'll get some humorously large antique tomes. Okay, so that's gonna be our office in here. Okay, now we're gonna move over to like the parlor, the formal sitting area. I guess like if it were to function more as like a parlor receiving visitors, it would make more sense if that was this area, but we'll just call it the formal sitting area, and there will also be an easel. That's actually like its full government name. The formal sitting area, but there will also be an easel. Maybe we figure out where the easel goes first. I think putting it like kind of in the corner here and they can look out the window and paint like the pretty trees or the other houses, that could be good. And I don't want it to look too messy, so I don't think I'm gonna add too much else, but maybe just a couple items from the artist studio kit. Maybe he has like a live-in painter. You know how like some weddings you can like hire a wedding painter and they'll paint something? Maybe that's what Felix has for every day of his life. They just paint something that happened in his life every day. Now, when I hear formal sitting area, I am kind of thinking this type of furniture from the base game. It actually probably gets pretty warm in here, but maybe that's good for like plants. We could do a plant right there and a small coffee table, but also a book, Let's get our game of musical chairs book. And I was also envisioning a plant right here. And I really want a pop of green. Again, I want a rug with a pop of green. This werewolves one is really nice, and it slides in so perfectly right where we need it to. And that will be our formal sitting room with our extra little skill building space. That is also going to be how you access the backyard. Before we get to the backyard, we are going upstairs to our 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 balcony, and then up to the 3rd floor with another bedroom and another bathroom. Now, I think the way I want to do this is 1 bedroom is actually like a lived-in room, and everything else is just kind of like guest rooms, quite generic maybe. This is the primary, and I've gone with some green on the walls, and I'm wondering what kind of like yellow bed could look good here. I do really like the one from university, but I don't really like it with these walls. I do like the sunflower one though. That looks really nice. I might want to keep things a little more like traditional, like your little analog alarm clock. We could have that right here. And something that I know that is kind of like a feature of like mansions or more expensive houses is like a dimensional ceiling. I literally don't know how to describe it, but like there's lots of like crown molding and this and that, but that's really hard to do in The Sims because the options for ceilings are the same as floorings and not walls. So I really would like to see them add like some more ceiling specific floor patterns. I think let's get some books on the dresser. Maybe we get another comically large one somewhere. A Good Night's Moon. Wait, that's what we have. You know, you need the bedtime story. I do think over here, maybe we could do like a nice reading chair with a lamp, a fancy lamp like this one. Exactly. Maybe we move the dresser under the windows, because that way over here we could have yet another bookshelf. And I do want a mirror, but I don't really have a place for a mirror now, do I? We could put it there by the door if we just move the door over a little bit. And is there a circular rug? Maybe the cookie rug? I wish we had these curtains in like a slightly, ever so slightly softer yellow. And maybe we have a little coat hook, because doesn't he wear a hat? I think Felix does wear a hat, so maybe that's his hat that he wears. But this is going to be our bedroom for Felix-sided. I feel excited about it. Moving on into this bathroom. We do have a little bit of a dilemma in that there are 4 windows in this bathroom and it is at the front of the house. But in all honesty, the Sims don't really care about that. They don't really care about it. They just want 4 enclosed walls. So we could put, you know, a bathtub right there, have a nice little view. That's actually such a nice view. And I forgot how much I like the life and death shower. The antique toilet seems fitting here. And I never really used these kind of standalone sinks. And I really did think about adding some laundry in here just so that the house would have it, like for no other reason. I don't actually think I would put it here normally. I actually think a mansion would absolutely have a dedicated laundry room, but I'm realizing it doesn't even like fit in there with the half wall. So, oh well, we can do a laundry bin. Maybe they just have someone come and pick up the laundry, take it, and then bring it back. I will get a little plant right here, and I'm gonna do some of the half curtains, which I know a lot of you hate, but I'm doing the half curtains. It's either this or no curtains. That is how much I dislike the curtains in this game. So this is our primary bedroom's bathroom. This room in here, I'm kind of thinking maybe it's like a kid's guest room, and so they've got a couple bunk beds right here. I think I'm gonna throw these guest rooms together pretty quickly because honestly, I really want to tackle the backyard. Like I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do the bedrooms, but I'm curious how the backyard yard will look. Maybe it's like a challenge or like a senior prank among the kids at Brightchester to like sneak in and spend a night at the Feel Excited home. Maybe it's haunted. I don't think it's haunted. We have not been building this with the idea that it's haunted. All right, this is our kids' guest room right here. I think we'll do this one as kind of a more formal guest room. I kind of want to do modern luxe, but are we modern? I just don't know. I think actually modern Grimpressions is what I'm going for here. Can they get around the bed? I want to say that they can, but I also think they probably can't, which means we got to put it this way. We could put it against the wall on either side. And while these windows look at a normal height from the outside of the house, they kind of look really low when you go on the inside. I know I've mentioned it on my Twitch streams when we first checked out the pack, but it was actually like kind of shocking to me that in Life and Death, they gave us a matching set for multiple rooms in the house. Like there's a living room set that's modern Grimpressions. There's an office chair and a desk. It really is an entire line of furniture. And I guess it makes sense to do that in expansion, but they still gave us more stuff. Like that wasn't the only line of furniture. And every time I think about stuff like that, I'm like, okay, maybe the bar is on the floor, but I'm enjoying the bar. I'm having a good time at the bar, I guess. I just really appreciate when things match. And as I'm sure many of you know, things don't always match. I do stream on Twitch, by the way. A lot of you have been showing up recently. Shout out to you, thank you. But you've been saying that you've watched me on YouTube for a long time and had no idea I streamed. I'm live every weekend on Twitch, and that is linked in the description below if you do ever want to show up. I don't want to put too much clutter here. I want to do like maybe the basket. We need our comically large books. Wait, I forgot them in the other rooms. We could do the diploma set in here. You know how some people like in the guest rooms, they do kind of have random like personal memorabilia or something, which I don't think that's necessarily weird because it's someone's house. They need a place for it to go. That's why I'm thinking that's there. They're from high school years, so it doesn't matter as much as the university diplomas, I'm sure. The framed patent, I kind of like that in here too. I'm gonna keep it pretty simple in here. This is our next bedroom, and we do need a comically large book for the kids' room. Let's do a kids' book, The Little Train That Couldn't, and then now for bedroom number 4. Maybe this one's like super sterile. This one's too fun. We need a more chill one, so maybe we do this. Maybe we get the little suitcase in this one. I keep flip-flopping with the story. I'm so sorry. It is a non-linear, unreliable narrator storyline that we have going on right now. I like this dresser because it looks like it's like linens, like towels and whatnot. So like you can always have fresh sheets for the guest. We've got the crystal picture in this one. So maybe, is there a gemology book? Of course there is. Cutting Corners Carefully. That will be our oversized book in this room. I really like that rug with this. Maybe Brightchester was like the first school to offer classes in gemology. I don't actually know if they do have classes in gemology. They probably don't. So this is bedroom number 4, perhaps currently with a guest staying. Or maybe a guest never left and that's why it's haunted. I have no idea. I'm clearly already going in with this bathroom. I'm like, okay, boop, 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 let's do it. I might take us down to one window though, and we'll do a little shower tub combo. We'll do the one I never use. Ooh, these are the same sinks, but I kind of want to use them in here too. Oh, but like the green doesn't really match, so actually never mind. We could do the cottage living sinks. I like those. That can be our basic layout here. Let's not forget maybe some soap and a towel. This video is either gonna end up being really long or really short. I've been filming for 4 hours, if you can believe it, but it hasn't been 4 hours of straight yapping, so I don't know how long this is gonna end up being cut down to. But if you have made it this far, I do really appreciate it because this is kind of like a different video vibe for me. It's not in every room is a different. We need a plant in here, and I really do need the authority, but I think I've used the authority like twice already. Maybe I've only used it once, so it's actually fine. Now I've used the authority twice. This is going to be the hall bathroom, and I'm kind of on a bathroom kick right now. Like, I kind of just want to knock this bathroom out before we go and do our last bedroom. I'm kind of thinking something interesting happens up here on the 3rd floor. I don't know exactly what, but it's interesting. Maybe not so much with the bathroom, but I'm actually wondering if it's something so mysterious that when they give tours of the house, you can't go up there. It's actually a secret. It's a mystery. I really like this gold get-together tile. Should we do it on the walls too? I don't know if we do it on the walls. It's kind of so much when you do both of them though. Maybe we do this. I don't know if this is the vibe for this bathroom, but like the gold and black marble on the sink with these tiles, I'm gonna have to use that. I do really hate building on the 3rd floor of Sims houses because the camera is always jumping around in very unpredictable ways, might I add. Like there are some ways the camera moves that are annoying, but are at least predictable. But once you go past floor 2, it really is like 2012 Ellie Goulding. Like anything can happen. What is the mystery up here? I don't know. I do like this bathroom. Maybe the bathroom's not tied to the mystery history, who knows? Maybe Felix Sided's alter ego brother, Philip Partial, like Phil Impartial lived up here, and he never felt excited about anything, and that's why his name was Phil Impartial. It doesn't work. Felix Sided is so good. I can't replicate a name off the top of my head, but maybe he just like hated the pursuit of knowledge and liked comically small books, and he lived up here. And while Felix was always loving towards his brother, the executors of his estate tried to cover up Phil Impartial's, I can't keep saying that. They tried to cover up his brother's existence as to not tarnish the Felix-sided legacy. Yeah, it makes sense if you don't think about it. It's great. It's great. Just don't think about it too much. Phil lived up here, and he liked comically small books. Maybe he has a little collection. Again, not a great place to store books, but it works. There's our bathroom. I guess we could take like the empty bookshelves there and then take a bunch of books and size them down and make them really small. This is too silly. Oh yeah, this is good. This is good. This is what I'm talking about. They're so little. They're so little. That's so funny. Okay. And then just like his bed. Where would someone who doesn't like the pursuit of knowledge sleep? I don't think there's actually an aesthetic for someone who doesn't like the pursuit of knowledge. But maybe his bed is like red because of Foxbury. Maybe, I don't think he started Foxbury because he didn't like the pursuit of knowledge. But maybe he was secretly a Foxbury supporter when it came time to choose alliances. Yes. There's not really like a really good dresser to add in here, but I'm trying my best. His tiny book, exactly. I'm putting the tarot prints because they look like they should go up here. They look like they kind of match in with what we have going on. Not for any particular meaning beyond that. But if you'd like to apply their meaning to the storyline, I will not stop you. I don't know how I feel about this runner rug. I wanted some more visual interest over here, but I don't know about that. I did give him a meditation cushion. Maybe he thinks meditation is all you need. You don't need university. You can just meditate and the answers will come to you. That's gonna be our 5th bedroom. It's now time to come back outside, and I realized I did not change up the roofing out here. I think this one looks pretty nice. How are we doing the pool is a great question. I think I actually might have to get rid of this fence for the time being, because I would like to do a pool. It's like kind of in ground, but it's also like connected to the raised patio area. Well, we have this. Bad things are happening with the fence situation here. Maybe we fence in the pool individually. That still doesn't mean that we can connect this right here. What? You can't do it with a pool? Really? Could we? What? This gate is so big. I was going to say, like, can I alt place a gate? Wait, I literally can't even do that. Let me alt place a gate, cowards. I think this is what we have to do, is we have to do the little archway. Like I said, we need a garden. The archway brings you back to the vertical gardens. I want to use Riviera Retreat. I want to just do like one of these in the pool because it's like so fancy to me. We need wind chimes. I love putting wind chimes in like all of my Sims builds now because I realized your Sims get a positive moodlet from the wind chimes. I know I've mentioned that before. Let's get like the nice grill, like the Desert Luxe one right there. We should have a little outdoor dining table. We're putting the grill right there. And then we're going to get the poolside dining table with our poolside dining chairs out here. This is actually really quite cute. When you have limited space for an outdoor area, I'm having a good time with this. The get together marble pool trim, I feel like that takes it up a notch. The flagstone out here, I really like that. I wanted like a big umbrella, but that one's really big, Chet. The afternoon sun is on this side of the house, so you're not really getting the afternoon sun. It thankfully hits the pool, but it doesn't hit here anyway, so no umbrella, thank you. Oh my god, wait, we didn't do any trash cans. Maybe we put a couple trash cans right here. I don't think it detracts too much from the house. I want a bee box. I started gardening more in the game, and the bee boxes are actually so useful. We're just gonna put it right there. The bees have to approve you before you view the garden. Exactly. Now out here, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of room. We could get these stones. Oh, I want a fountain. I know these are supposed to be shooting into a fountain, but I like them. If you don't want them, you delete them, okay? I think I'm ready to landscape a little bit. I haven't been in many mansions. I don't even know if I've been in anything you consider a mansion, but I do feel like they have very manicured plants, and now I'm wondering if we put these on either side of the door instead of our little rock stools, because who's really gonna gonna use those. They definitely have these super manicured trees. The way this is like really adding to it, I'm excited. The leaf cascade, let's get that out here. That's pretty nice. These are some items that I've like never once used in the game. But I think that's going to do it for this video. I am gonna throw in some more stuff in the common areas, but here is the final tour. I imagine this might be a long one. At least the tour. I don't know how long this video is gonna be, so again, thank you if you've stuck it out, if it was really long. If you did make it this far in the video, comment green and yellow heart emojis for our Bright Chester founder. Feel excited. We're feeling excited, I would say. Mansions and like fancy and rich is not my typical build style, so apologies in advance if I missed the mark on anything here. And like I said, I do stream on Twitch every week. I would love to see you there. It's just my name over there and it's linked down below. We also have a Discord server if you want to join in over there. And of course, don't forget to let me know your lore. What are you coming up with for this house? I think aesthetics wise, like it does look very mansion, at least from the outside. Maybe I owe you a proper mansion. Maybe I should build you the smallest house on a 64 by 64 lot next. Yes, for sure. Anyway, that really is gonna be it. So if you liked this video, please don't forget to give it a like. Please don't forget my creator code Sarah. If you are buying any Sims packs, don't feel like you have to, but I will get a small commission if you use my code. And please be sure to subscribe to my channel as well if you are a Sims build challenge enjoyer. YouTube has suggested another one for you to watch on the screen right now if you'd like to go and check that out. And other than that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a lovely tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!